A major update tonight as Hurricane Laura approaches the coast as a Category 4 hurricane. Good evening, everybody. This is LALATE with a special report about Hurricane Laura, the massive Category 4 system approaching the coast. Louisiana and Texas are preparing tonight as Hurricane Laura hits the area in a system we have not seen in a very long time. The National Hurricane Center out of Miami, Florida, issued an update minutes ago about the latest for Hurricane Laura this Wednesday, August 26. Winds are increasing at extremely dangerous conditions as Laura takes aim at the northwest Gulf Coast. Catastrophic storm surges, extreme winds, flash flooding expected along the coast, north Gulf West coast tonight. Where is Laura and how fast is she moving? NHC reports that Laura is currently tonight at about 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, about 120 miles south of Lake Charles, Louisiana, about 120 miles southeast of Port Arthur, Texas. She's carrying about winds at about 150 miles per hour sustained, but she's moving at about 15 miles an hour. She's slowed down a little bit since earlier today. What are the warnings and watches in place tonight? So if you are or your loved ones are somewhere in this area, pay attention to these warnings and watches as it goes slowly right now. First, a storm surge warning is in effect for Freeport, Texas, to the mouth of the Mississippi River. Next, a hurricane warning is in effect for San Luis Pass, Texas, to Intracoastal City, Louisiana. A tropical storm warning is in effect for Sargent, Texas, to San Luis Pass. East of Intracoastal City, Louisiana, to the mouth of the Mississippi River. And a hurricane watch is in effect for east of Intracoastal City to west of Morgan City, Louisiana. The situation tonight is still being monitored as Laura was located as moving north-northwest at about 15 miles per hour minutes ago. Where would she turn to and how is she going to move next? A turn towards the north is expected overnight, Wednesday night. And a northward motion should continue on Thursday morning. A northeast to northeast westward motion is expected Thursday night and Friday. On the forecast track, Laura will approach upper Texas and southwest Louisiana coast this evening and move inland within that area tonight. So she will touch shore tonight. The center of Laura is forecast to move over northwest Louisiana tomorrow morning, across Arkansas Thursday night, and over mid-Mississippi Valley on Friday. One of reports of hurricane trackers reporting tonight, reports from NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicates that she's carrying maximum sustained winds of 150 miles per hour, which is extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous Category 4 on the wind scale. Some additional strengthening is even possible. Could she go to Category 5? Some additional strengthening is expected tonight, but she'll rapidly decrease in strength once she moves inland. Hurricane force winds are moving upwards of 60 miles per hour, and sustained winds of 48 miles per hour were reported at Cremort Point, Louisiana, on Vermilion Bay. There's a series of hazards tonight, and they're absolutely enormous. They cover storm surges, wind, tornadoes, surf, rainfall, and more. First, key messages tonight indicate that Laura can be found arriving in the areas well advanced of Laura's center. All protections for life and property should be rushed to completion in the next few hours. So by nighttime tonight, you should have prepared and evacuated. Storm surge. These are the hazards tonight about storm surges. A combination of dangerous storm surges and the tide will cause normally dry areas along the coast to be flooded by raising waters. Moving inland from the shoreline, the water could reach the following heights overnight. Okay, so these are your storm surges and what numbers you need to be on alert for. Johnson Bayou, Louisiana, to Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge will be about 15 to 20 feet high storm surges. I mean, these are incredible. I mean, these are 2-story tall. I mean, this is not, this is not something really small here. This is absolutely incredible. Sea Rim State Park, Texas to Johnson Bayou, Louisiana, including Sabine Lake, 10 to 15 foot. Big numbers also. Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge to Intracoastal City, Louisiana, 10 to 15 foot. Then it gets a little bit smaller. Intracoastal City, Louisiana, Morgan City, including Vermilion Bay, is about 8 to 12 feet. And then it steps down quickly. Port Boulevard, Texas to Sea Rim State Park, 6 to 9 feet. Morgan City, Louisiana, mouth of Mississippi River, 4 to 7 feet. Freeport, Texas to Port Boulevard, including Galveston Bay, 2 to 4 feet. And then mouth of the Mississippi River to Ocean Springs, including Lake Borge, 1 to 3 feet. Lake Pontorain and Lake Maurepas, 1 to 3 feet. How bad is the situation? Unsurvivable storm surges with large and destructive waves will cause catastrophic damage from Sea Rim State Park, Texas, to Intracoastal City, Louisiana, including Sabine Lakes tonight. It's just absolutely horrible. This surge could penetrate up to, are you ready for this? 40 miles inland from the immediate coastal and flood waters. Will not fully recede for several days after the storm. Storms-related flooding depends on the relative timing of the surge and tidal waves. And then there's the wind. The National Hurricane Center is expecting hurricane warnings tonight and Thursday with catastrophic wind damage expected where Laura's eye wall moves onshore tonight. Tropical conditions are moving onshore on the coast of Louisiana. Hurricane-force winds and damaging wind gusts are expected to spread well into inland, into portions of eastern Texas and western Louisiana early Thursday. Then rainfall, and this is one of the big ones, expected to be enormous amount of rain for days. Across northwest Gulf Coast and as far as southwest as Louisiana and Golden Triangle of southeast Texas, 8 to 12 inches. And could in some places be 18 inches of rainfall. Central to western Louisiana into far eastern Texas, 5 to 10 inches and upwards of 15 inches. Much of Arkansas will see 3 to 7 inches of rain, and in some places could see 10 inches. This is widespread flash and urban flooding that is expected. Small streams and creeks and overflow of their banks, and minor to moderate freshwater river flooding. The numbers get worse and continue over the weekend, Friday to Saturday, still continuing. They say mid-Mississippi and portions of Tennessee Valley, Lower Ohio Valley, and Central Appalachians 2 to 4 inches, with isolated maximum amounts of about 6 inches of rain. So I know have viewers in all these different parts of the country, so this is why this is so important that I'm reporting this to you. Across the Mid-Atlantic, 1 to 3 inches. And then there's tornadoes, as if that's not enough. Several tornadoes are expected this evening, Wednesday night, through tonight over Louisiana, far southeast Texas and southwest Mississippi. The risk for a few tornadoes will continue tomorrow, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi. And finally, swells. Swells produced by Laura affected the Gulf Coast from the west coast of Florida to Texas and northeastern Mexico. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip conditions. It just keeps on going. Stay safe. Get out of the area. If you've been ordered to evacuate, please leave now. Do not heed Do not ignore warnings. Please understand social distancing guidelines are still in place, and a lot of evacuation centers are really trying to ensure that people get out safely, but also in a healthy standard. If you're near that environment, or you have loved ones near the environment, or you need to communicate any type of message, similarly, drop in the comments below. This is a community of one group of people that all care about one another. So I saw the comments this morning's, or actually this afternoon's broadcast about Hurricane Laura. This is part of our continued coverage of the storm. If you like this coverage, please hit the like button on this video. It helps the algorithm, and it also helps us know that you like the video. Like and share it on social media, and subscribe to this channel and hit the alert button so you get an update if anything else changes with category statuses of Laura or any of the other 2 hurricanes that are forming in the Pacific tonight as well off the coast of Mexico. As always, stay informed, stay motivated, and coming up next is EIDL. Have a great evening.